want Democrats elected from the local to the county to the state to the federal level. Once again, making the case that when Democrats win, Americans win.
Hillary Clinton recently on the campaign trail in Columbia, South Carolina, and though she talks up her party, numbers aren't really looking good for Mrs. Clinton. According to a new CNN poll, her favorability has taken a hit. In March, it was over 50% at 53%. By May, it had dropped to 46%. And that's not the only area where she is showing deficiencies. Take a look at the whole notion of trustworthiness, or more accurately, untrustworthy. 57% of respondents now say she's untrustworthy. She had that at 49% a little less than a year ago. Joining us now to talk presidential politics and a variety of subjects, the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Newt Gingrich. He is also the author of Breakout, Pioneers of the Future, Prison Guards of the Past, and the Epic Battle That Will Decide America's Fate. Mr. Speaker, it's great to have you on Newsmax Prime.
Well, JD, it's always great to be with you and to listen to your commentary and the great work that Newsmax is doing, bringing the facts to the American people.
Well, let's take a look at the facts and the perceptions as you offer them, Newt. Hillary's numbers on the decline, is it inevitable, or can she do something to snap out of this?
Well, I think she has a real challenge because about every week or 10 days another shoe drops, and we learn, like the World Soccer Cup scandal, we now discover involves money for the Clinton Foundation. There's apparently another report out today about the Saudi Arabians' Ministry of Propaganda giving money to the Clinton Foundation. So every time you turn around, there's a new allegation, there are new facts coming to light, and I think that this is likely to go on for 6 months or a year, and I think it poses a very significant challenge, not necessarily in the Democratic Party, where apparently a lot of Democrats have decided they're for Hillary and they don't want to hear anything. But when you look at independents, she is clearly dropping dramatically, and that may have a big impact on her ability to win the general, and that may reopen the Democratic Party nomination.
And as we look at this, it seems the Clintonian response always and forever is a form of jujitsu where they come back to, look, this is old news, can't we just move on? You believe it'll continue to be a drip, drip, drip for Secretary Clinton?
Well, I think that the prospect of foreign money being influence payments to a former president and to a potential next president is something that really strikes at American patriotism and an American concern about being corrupted by foreigners. Alexander Hamilton wrote about it in the Federalist Papers and said the greatest threat to a republic is corruption from overseas, because the very nature of a republic is that it is open to people, does not have an aristocracy, doesn't have a landed component, and therefore is vulnerable to the kind of bribery. And in fact, they wrote into the Constitution a specific prohibition against taking foreign emoluments, as they called it, foreign money and grants of nobility, etc., unless specifically authorized by Congress. And when Benjamin Franklin was given a very nice gift, he literally had to write a letter to Congress and say, am I allowed to keep this? That's how strongly the Founding Fathers feared foreign corruption. And the challenge for the Clintons is that this gets us right into the middle of Nigeria, Haiti, the scandal with the World Soccer Federation, right in the middle of Russian money. You go down the list, it's a pretty astonishing story.
And we will continue to follow it. But Newt, another major story top of mind in the nation's capital, the Patriot Act, or whatever is going to come out of Congress. Now, we saw Rand Paul very strongly against any renewal of the Patriot Act. The House has offered a form of reform. I guess the question would be twofold. What do you expect to come out of the Senate? Where will the consensus show up? And then just what seems to be a split within the Republican Party over this particular issue in national security.
Well, I don't think there's much of a split. I think you have Rand Paul who values personal security over national security, and you have virtually everybody else on the other side. And I think many of the senators are very angry because they feel that it was irresponsible to let these provisions lapse. They could easily have extended them for 2 or 3 weeks while they finish negotiating. And we've given today to the terrorists, an opportunity because we have literally suspended a series of our surveillance programs, which, remember, are aimed at terrorists. They're not aimed at the average American. There's no evidence that any of this information has ever been used to harm innocent Americans. And I appreciate that Senator Rand Paul has a deep libertarian concern about this. But frankly, when I look at ISIS cutting off people's heads, when I look at children being turned into suicide bombers, when I look at the effort to get nuclear weapons by terrorists, I worry a lot more about American national security than I do about the government gathering up what is quantitative data, which was primarily useful to eliminate suspicion. Almost every occasion I've been told, almost every occasion where they've used it, it has proven somebody's not guilty, not proven they are guilty, and it's been very helpful in letting the government focus on the real dangers. And you're in a world now where, frankly, there are a lot of real dangers, and we need to understand that.
Former Speaker Newt Gingrich, the name of his new book, Breakout: Pioneers of the Future, Prison Guards of the Past, and the Epic Battle That Will Decide America's Fate. You heard from Newt. Now we'd like to hear from you. There are a variety of ways for you to get in touch with me. You can email me, newsmaxprime@newsmaxtv.com. There's also Facebook and Twitter. And go to our website, newsmax.com/comments to offer your comments. There's more coming up. Stay with us.